Hi there, welcome back. So in this part, we are going to be discussing how to set up a basic Ionic app using React as well as the Ionic CLI. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so some things that you will need beforehand to get started is you're going to need Node as well as NPM, as well as Git and Android Studio if you want to run this on an emulator. However, we're just going to run it through the web and just to build it through the web basically, but we're still going to emulate it to look like a mobile app. I hope that made sense. But anyways, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and install the CLI. So we're just going to go and copy this link. It says npm i-g at Ionic CLI. So we're just going to go ahead and paste that. It's going to globally install the Ionic CLI within our computer. Alrighty, so running that exact command sometimes on Mac may not work. However, to bypass that, all you need to do is just type sudo and then the rest of the command. So let's try that again. And then just enter in your password. Alrighty, so now that we've installed the CLI, let's go ahead and click on these three little hamburger icons. This little hamburger icon right here, and we're going to go and click on the installation guide right here. Now, the installation guide is going to provide us how to set up a blank app. However, we're going to set up a specific blank app. We don't want to set up just a blank app. We're going to go with the tabs just so we can emulate a basic bottom navigation bar. So what we're going to do is we'll do Ionic start, and let's call it my first app, and we'll just do tabs just like that. And then we're going to type, we're going to go with React and just let it work its magic. Alrighty, so I have now created my app, and well, we can see that we have a whole bunch of files and folders and all that sort of good jazz. So let's go ahead and start off with the first one right here. We have the source folder. Now this is where our main app is going to be held. This is where we're going to be changing the files and the codes and all that sort of good jazz, and we're going to be making our app through here. The next thing is that we have the www folder here somewhere. Anyways, we're not going to touch that. That's the main thing. We don't really need to touch it because it's automatically generated. Next thing is that we have the config file, the capacitor config file. English. The capacitor config file. It's important when we're setting up our native functionality. We'll go ahead and deep dive into this later on. And then after that, we have our package JSON. So this is basically where all of our dependencies are going to live, and that's pretty much it. So we have our, let's make this a little bit bigger, shall we? There we go. So let's see what we have. When I open up my source folder, we have our components, we have our pages, we have our theme, and we have app.tsx as well as main.tsx. So if you have worked with React a little bit, you'll know that there's an app.tsx and an index.tsx. If I'm not mistaken, it's been like almost 2 years since I've done React. But our main.tsx, if you think of it, is just our index file. It's going to be where our app.tsx lives, and then React is going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to look at this mainly, and I'm going to just work through your app through here, contain React through that, basically. And then we have the app.tsx file where our app is held. So where we can, we can set up our navigation, and then all our individual routes, and then our components that point to the routes, and all that sort of good jazz. So next thing is, we got to run this son of a gun, this son of a... anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to type Ionic serve. We're going to serve that thing. Should not swear. That's not good. And now, if we see right here, I gotta change the size of the window. We have created our first Ionic app. And now if I go into a mobile mode, let's go ahead and go with a Galaxy, oh god, iPhone? Yeah, let's go with iPhone. See, it looks so modular, doesn't it? And we have navigation installed and all that sort of good jazz. So let's go ahead and work through this and add some components and build a small little app, and then afterwards make our anime app, shall we? Alright, so now before we do conclude this tutorial, let's go ahead and put in a simple component just so we can break the ice with the app and, have a little bit of our own touch to it, shall we? So, I'm going to click on the button component, and we're going to just go ahead and import it like this. let's go ahead and go here, and then within our app.tsx file, what I'll do is right here, one of these, or tab 1. Let's do it in tab 1, sure. So in tab 1, we have a simple title, header, page, content. That's about it. I have no idea what any of this means right now. I'll learn it as I'm learning just as you are. So what we'll do is we're just gonna go ahead and on line 19, right underneath our Explorer container, we'll just go ahead and put our button. However, we need to import it. So let's go ahead and import that son of a gun, shall we? Now if we go back into our app, did we run our app? I feel like I forgot to run our app. Oh, we did run our app, right? Okay. So we go to tab 1, and we have our default button and our disable button. Pretty simple, right? Alright, so that concludes this tutorial. In the next video, we're actually going to be talking about the Ionic Visual Studio Code extension, how to install it, and just a little bit about how it works. And please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. See ya.